There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Monitor people who waiting to sell. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The project is giving us here the premise of them. The work with my life without again.
I lyrical
Master.
Clear Paris, who make you again Sktv menu. Say my journey, Tina can I say my yamu. And yes, I know money, and more I know. And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Muscle Rider, Lofa, and Grand Bazaar.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget it now ya to money. That's the baby, and I forget it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Muscle Rider, Lopa, and Grand Bazaar.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Monitor people who waiting to sell. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the premise my best. The work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chide, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Monster Rider, San to Backbaloo, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Indeed, we are the best in Liberia. We are the best in Africa. We are the best around the world, folks. In the Sktv, it is your number one talk show that bring all of the information right to your doorstep. And I respect all of you, those of you who've been following us for a little time. Even though every time we get new people, sometimes there are people who sometimes they play the listening role, and sometimes they don't call in, they don't even comment, and so forth. That's where when my good friend and brother, how they call him? So one of our regular caller here to also, let me just follow it. But one of our regular caller here also said that maybe you people, the followers, stay consistent and he said there are no new follower. I disagree with Louis. I let me call him, but I disagree with Louis on that. When Louis said, "Oh, maybe your colors are they are consistent." No, Louis, is not true, my brother. I wanted to respond to you that day, but because there was no time. But Louis, it's not true. Every day on this show, a phone I use here, the network or the number we use here, always with me. So if they are callers, let me tell some of you today, Louis and the rest of you out there today, whenever you see the talk show host, sometimes recognizing some of the callers or calling the names of the callers, that means the callers are consistent. So we have their names, we have their numbers saved on the network. How this thing works. There are a lot of callers, there are a lot of people who come through every time, people listen. People want to get all of the real information, Louis. People don't want to get his political talk, party mandate. The other political party say they want, the other, no. By the way, good evening, people. You help us share the show. The show will be interesting today. Thursday. Steve Bole, or better still, Moses will be here with us. Yes, Steve Bode will join us here for a matter of fact, and he's going to control everything here. I'll be here also to play the listening role and also do my part here in Liberia. But again, today is the last day in the month of April. I don't know about you, but today is the last day in the month of April. And any day from now will be, it will be our birthday. Some of us were born the 1st of May. So again, my birthday comes on tomorrow. By the grace of, I was saying yesterday, jokingly, that our features have been squandered. The people that squander a lot of opportunity. So don't get vexed. When you squander, they squander us. These those in fact, before I go to Manaseli video, those squander us. The people who they can squander anything. Let me tell you, maybe you don't know this thing today. So they squander some of us squander our feature. Right now, in fact, I'm only concerned about mailing and siblings and so forth. That's all. That's my only concern now. Mailing our brothers and sisters. Maybe the other one will come and so forth. That's my only. But for some of us now, no more feature. Our feature have been squandered. Yeah, man. Yeah, show me. I don't know we all want to talk these things. How long some of you want to talk and how you want to talk. We come here, we talk in the simplest form. You get issue. Some of you get issue with everything. Even when it costs for me to speak our local dialect here, I will do. Because we're all talking about Liberia. Nobody here talking about Guinea, Africa Coast, Sierra Leone, all of it, no. But the market women out there, or the marketeers, or the market women out there, who lives, their future have been squandered during the war time. They're not be able to speak the BB grammar you'll be speaking. That's the problem with some of you. But all you speak BB grammar, that means that you're educated. They tell you, I can't go read or go join AFA, you're not able. Yeah, man, yeah, show we doing now already. More will be here with us. That's why some of us will come here, we don't waste our time on the, because even it's in the Bible. The Bible talk about this thing. Being wars, these people who speak, who pretend, the Pharisees. So for some of us, we don't pretend like the Pharisees. Some of you who are educated, it's up to you. If you feel that you are more educated, well, it's up to you. But our education is the impact that we can make in the life of our people. That's what you call education. They're all vain things, you'll be speaking, passing around, acting fake, doing all sort of things here. No. We don't go down. But I can help us to show people. Steve setting up already. But this is a thing today where the show will be more interesting. The show will be hot. It will be solo noise. Yo. Today won't pass solo yo. You like it? Go job already off. Then was that the yo chairman already here with us. Today the show so yo. What? Oh, the country interesting. Squander they squander our life, Steve. For some of us, we don't have life. Squander our life, my dear brother. But go you first. Chairman, you're looking serious. What happened?
Well, no more. As a deacon, I want to say happy pre-birthday to you as a deacon.
No, you can't stop it. Stop before the birthday people hold me in contempt. Already they're not talking. Because they not talk on me. Good.
We gotta celebrate you. Happy pre-birthday. Folks, let's share the show. Happy pre-birthday to Milborn Johnson Kula. Tomorrow is Milborn's birthday. We will see what we can do to rally up and support him tomorrow, show him some love. Milborn will beg you if we call it anything tomorrow in the name of God. We need to sit down one place, you must leave home. We beg you. If we collect anything for you tomorrow, we're not saying that our trouble will take. You must leave home. You will not die if you stay home tomorrow. You will not die if you sleep in your bed. Milborn. Well, look at Milborn's frozen because I can't. Yeah, Milborn looks like he's frozen. Folks, let's share the show. I don't know what's going on with Milborn, but Milborn, my man. Stop playing games. Let me see if Milborn is frozen. I don't know. Yeah, I said Milborn was frozen. I just knew that. But let's share the show. Milborn Johnson Kula will be joining us back. Good afternoon, good evening, folks. Good news coming from out of Liberia. We announced the news to you. It's not even about Liberia, but good news coming out of Liberia. We hope the government will engage into those kind of things. But good news coming out of Liberia. It's not Liberia and not Liberian government. That good news that coming out of Liberia. But let's wait for Melbourne to come back, please. We're going to give you a few minutes for Melbourne and the rest of the folks to come back. In the meantime, let's use this opportunity to share the show. Let's use the opportunity to share the show. Been following some political activities in Liberia. We've been following it. This included Supreme Courts when they met these few days. This include Mr. Alexander Cummings' interview and also the interview from former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, which seemed to set the United Party people on fire. They are insulting. You know, the one I can mean laugh is Ellen Johnson said that younger. When they're insulting, they who can insult. Just now, when you question Joseph Boakai, then you rude. When you ask questions about Joseph Boakai, or you point out the fact that he said something that was not true, and you say he's a liar, oh, then you disrespectful. They probably passing Ellen. Ellen Johnson said, go check on Facebook. Unrepentantly, they're insulting Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who can burn some of them mind, burn some of them party there, causing the woman back to back. Back to back to back. But folks, this is what we get. I know soon as I came, I saw Melbourne leaving, I don't know, looking suspicious to me. They're looking very suspicious and concerning. They're looking very, very suspicious and concerning. Okay, Melbourne said they'll be right back. I think they had a power outage or something like that, so that's why the internet froze. They'll be right back. But let's share the show now. Let's share the show, folks. We have a lot to talk about. We'll talk about some of them tomorrow as well. I know Monk will be joining us in a little bit. We are planning some things, but we'll give you guys an announcement in the next few weeks in terms of how the show will be structured and things like that. We want to appreciate all of the people that have been joining us. It's a good thing. All of the panelists that include Mr. Dushil, Masale, and also Brother AB. Yeah, Melbourne, I said, I was saying something and that made you just run away. I don't understand why you ran away, but I was saying tomorrow is your birthday when we Monk, I was saying to Melbourne tomorrow is his birthday. When we collect small thing for him, he should sleep to the horse. He would not die. Yeah. So we're not collecting money for you to sleep out of the horse. Yeah, sleep home. We know that birthday, but sleep home. Sleep in your matrimonial bed tomorrow. Sleep home.
Before more come on, you gotta take it back because if your sister haven't complained to you before that I ever maybe one way or the other have myself out of the hole. What kind of a
my man, I want to discuss something in public because if I show some of the messages here that I've been having, maybe you will need a show. So I don't want to be out of noise. So let you behave yourself. Tomorrow your birthday will celebrate you. I just caution you to put your leg together. Oh, just put your leg together. But Mom, what's up, bro?
Not much. I was just about to ask the same question if they brought a main case to the family court on that then. I will give the man the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, they may get a couple of cases here that pile up on the
Oh, but
docket.
then the man in trouble. If you got a couple of cases on the
They
docket,
may get a couple of cases here on the docket.
then
But we're not looking at it yet because we're not looking at it yet because it's looking too sticky. But anyway, folks, let's share the show as always. But Mongo, you know, coming out of Ghana, we told the Labran people that we were going to announce something. Folks, let's share the show. Coming out of Ghana, I'm seeing a very good news. You know that I seen the news coming out of Ghana that making me to start having a second thought on Africa and the progress some of these countries are making. I didn't know that some people have stepped out and they've stepped up in Ghana. Let me give you a common example. You see the chairman all bagging you? Say that one a lot. Chairman, you didn't want me to say some of those messages. I said you'll be very disappointed. You don't even want supporting your man for your birthday tomorrow. But I will leave it after the birthday. We'll bring out of noise. But yeah, Monk. So here is what's coming out of Ghana. Ghana Parliament set to approve DNA compulsory mandatory for testing. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible. They just set up a system for the national health care that will be tied towards their ID verification process. So if you can set up a system for a nationwide healthcare mandate in order to provide services using identification, then more than likely you can do it for DNA because DNA is just a testing process. So, you know, I can remember in 2001, when I traveled, when I was in Ghana, I was there for like 6 weeks. So the COVID, you know, you got two options. You can go to a local site to go and do your testing, or you can order the mobile unit. Ghana have a mobile unit that will come to your home and conduct your testing, and they will send you a confirmation email with a barcode system where you can scan at the airport to verify you in the computerized system that you have tested for COVID. So when I went to Ghana and I went through the process, I was like, okay, the mobile unit came, took your sample, carried the test, conduct the lab, and then send your return. I mean, the lab result via the email, and you can just use the barcode in the email to verify the airport. Like, but it's no different from what I did in America. It's almost the same thing. It tells you how far they are going in terms of technology, in terms of making people's life better, in terms of services. That's why the government is there for. You come with some innovative approach to make people's life better. Because Steve, I bet the next thing it will be about job verification. Because why is the essence of doing DNA? Because most of the time in Africa, men escape their responsibility. I think Ghana is trying to curtail that situation because if they get a DNA sample and somebody carry it to the gender ministry for anything, they can easily come after you because your DNA sample is there, so they can verify. So in the end, that's a very good process, and I must commend them for that. Yeah, maybe I think Steve is off now.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Let me also join you. I think myself when I saw that today, I was like, wow. But then that's good because look. Let me for you can straighten things without putting any system in place. Because the reason today more we're seeing some of the wahala coming from so many homes, disappointments, seeing street children, no control here and there, people owning property. You know, like there were when some of us will come from sometimes we want to talk about Donald Trump, people get angry. Because when Donald Trump also talk about the issue of people divorcing, and at the end of the day, the woman taking almost 70 to 80%, or maybe anything that they want to take the ticket. I don't think that was right. Because you can go into a relationship with the mindset that you go there with love. Only to live from there with properties. More for me, there I'm confused. Because then I mean you don't go there with love, or you go there with the mindset of making another person poor because you want to get a property, or maybe you want to get 50% of their property. So the issue of childbearing, like I saw something, I don't know whether it's true, but I saw something on the Kekoruba blog where they talk about the Osorio who alleged they were beating on one of his in-law or so forth for impregnating 19 years old girl and denying the pregnancy. So all these things will help. All these things will help some of these situations today because Monk, whether we like it or not, there are so many homes today where the father the father biological children are not even in the home. But the children who not even for the father, they are the one that in the home enjoying everything. So for me, well, I don't know what these things will happen, because that's why when we come here, sometimes we talk about our leadership, how poor, how they are now working, they are only after what they can get. These are some of the things, because there are so many things happening. Sometimes go back and say, okay, let's visit the Ministry of Gender. Ministry of Gender, what are some of the things that you've been maybe facing with, or maybe that you've been passing through for ever so long, maybe that have been maybe holding you down? Let me just say the simplest form. And maybe they'll come and say, okay, we've been having the issue of, parents fighting for child support here and there. How can we better this system? Because even the God we serve, some of us who are Christian, our God are just God. If he say just, that means that justice. God not be cheating somebody to say, okay, you lead a woman or you lead a man. No. God don't work like that. So if Melbourne, for example, if that pregnancy for Melbourne, and you do the DNA test and prove that yes, that pregnancy for Melbourne, at least the society will be able to have records of children who are, here, that what happened now in South Africa. Because look, Monk, and this thing getting serious. Maybe it may not be our time now. Maybe we'll be dead and gone, but 10, 15, 20, 25 years or 30 or 50 years from now, Monk, this thing will happen. And by that time, some of our parents, they'll be confused. They'll be like, oh, but why? How come, our leader didn't tell all these things before? But we made, for me, I support Ghana for that. And I hope and pray that all of these things will come back home here in our society, because our society is seriously challenged. There are a lot of allegations, accusations, even this rape issue, the same thing. If somebody come out to me and tell them that, oh yeah, a lady come out to me and say Melbourne rape, the first thing, nobody want to even listen to Melbourne anymore. I will go in jail. But I in jail, whether I rape or not, I will be in jail. So all these things should be placed, or maybe should be put in place. For me, I think that might take, that's good. It's not bad.
But one thing you fail to realize, you need to understand when you do your research here, the reason divorces are common here because it's a business, it's an entire industry. The divorce industry in America, the market value is estimated to be a $50 billion industry with a B. 50 billion. And when you think about it, you look at things like spousal maintenance, attorney fees, the litigators fees, legal fees, how much the state would take for this, how much the federal would take, child protection agency. So everybody getting their cut. So the reason the system was set up in that way, because back in the day, when the court system was set up, women were not breadwinners. They were not into the labor force. So they thought that was a way of protecting women, but getting something when they are leaving the marriage. That's why everything in court, when it comes to family, the women always tend to benefit because that's how the system was set up. But now we live in a whole different era, a whole different war. Or women's, some of them are even making more money than men, and they're being competitive because of the economic situation. One income can no longer make it, so you need the income of the wife. So as a result, women are also considered part of the family in terms of carrying the economic and the financial burden. So you cannot keep using the same standard you use in 1800 or 1900 into the 2000s. So that's why, like I say, for me, I'm a libertarian to a die-hard conservative. I want them to revamp the system so they can make it much easier for men. Men are already dying earlier than they're supposed to die. You cannot keep making the system tough for men all the time. No, men need some break. So I support the idea of revamping the whole divorce system when it comes to family and marriages.
Yeah. Indeed, Mark, I join you 100%. I don't know, maybe they have other team they are setting up to join us very soon before we transition and bring you all of the happening back home. But again, Mark, I join you 100% because let me be frank. There where when I see some of our mothers and sisters sometimes defending this thing, I can be like, but are the women not bearing male children or what? Because Mark, it makes no sense to me that as a woman, even if I'm able, I'm going to be a woman. I know very well that I have maybe boy or maybe I have male and female. Then I'll be defending the wickedness just because I'm a woman. These are things. Let me frank. There are a lot of women out there who I'm telling you, they just defend anything they want to defend just because they are women.
No, maybe don't look at it from. Oh, you are saying something, then continue after you are stopping there. But go ahead if you wanted to follow up on what you are saying.
Yes. So what happened? What I'm saying in short is that if that lady is in the wrong, like for example, mom, because that's how we men are, that's how we hold each other accountable. So if that person in the wrong, tell them that yes, you are in the wrong. But no, they say so mom, the 14 system or the 11th century system, the same system still continue. Oh, you know that women, you know the Bible say they know they are weak. Like you said, mom, why the weaker better none of day? Women are not providing more than even men none of that. So I don't want to part you with that, but actually I think all of our religious, sorry, all of our system of social system have to be revisited, and let's see how better. I think that we can put most of the things in place because more than you said, my brother, men are dying on a daily basis because of all of these things.
The pressure, the expectation, everything, and you cannot blame the women. It's just part of human nature. When you give people incentive, especially something that people can get free, the moment you try to take it from them, it becomes a problem. That's why whenever in any society, whether it's about social program, whether it's about housing, whether it's about healthcare or food stamp, anything you give somebody free, taking it away from them, it becomes a problem. And what you just said, you cannot blame the women. If the system had been going on this way for more than 100 years, where the woman will walk away with half of everything she never even contributed to, why would you think she would want to let that system to go away? She want to keep that system in place because they are the one benefiting. Even though in the long run, some of her boss children will end up being victims, but she could care less about the future she's thinking about now because it benefits her. Think about it, Mabel. Men bloom late in life. Life is tough on men. Sometimes you will be in your 50s, maybe going to your 60s. Few people will make it before that time, but we're talking about very limited in numbers because life is not easy. You have to work hard. You have to build. You got to find your calling, something that you are good at, apart from the 8-hour job, because job is not going to make you rich anyway. You got a job to get to pay bills, like I always tell people. So at the end of the day, you work for everything, and some woman just walk into your life with the guarantee that the day she chooses to leave, she walking away with half of everything you work for. Why make you think she will want to maintain the relationship knowing that the payday is so huge? The same thing happened in America when you talk about.
That's a question mark.
Yeah.
You say, think that in fact that person will even want to even stay? The person know that if I maybe work almost 2 to 3 maybe $1 million,
and I'm guaranteed to walk away from a female. Oh my God! I think Mabel is having a lot of issues today with the connection, the internet speed, or whatsoever, or some other technical issue. Can you hear me, folks? If you can hear me, please give me thumbs up. Let me know that I'm still connected, or if I'm frozen too. I don't know. Just like a lack of thumbs up, either one would be okay. All right. I'm getting some thumbs up from Ali. I'm good. I think there is Mabel only. Yeah. Well, I don't know if we are still on the radio. I could keep talking until Melbourne gets back. Yeah, for sure. So it's a system. I don't blame them. That's how the system was built. And until you change the system, nothing's going to change. You cannot keep using 18th to 19th century formula in 2020 or in the 2020s. It's just not going to work. So you can complain about the women all you want, but at the end of the day, the system was built for them to reap the most benefit for men. I don't know, maybe we'll get a reward in heaven, but on earth there is nothing that in favor of men. Either way, any way, shape, or form. Men, we were just, I don't know, we the moment God created on this planet. So for me, I don't argue about it, I don't stress out about it. I just accept it for the fact that I'm a man. Because complaining about it is not going to change anything. So I just live with it. I just decide, okay, on an individual level, you can choose to carry yourself in a particular way, but we're talking about children, we're talking about family, we're talking about divorces, you're talking about expectation, you're talking about hard work, man. You the man, just kiss it goodbye. You will keep struggling until you leave this planet, so just forget it. But Mabel said it right. And that's where we are. Same thing happening here. Not only in Africa, even in America, in other industrialized countries, and in most countries, I would say, the system was always meant to protect the women. They believe that they are not the strongest in society, and that's how the Western culture go. The children will come first, the women come second, the animal come third, then we the men, they put a fourth in line. So even the dogs and the cat, they got more right than us men in America. So think about that. That way I know we are the moment for the whole world. The animal all got more rights than us. They will protect the animal before they can protect a man. So who am I to question the system? We just go with the flow. Yeah. But maybe I don't know if you hear me in the background. What's going on? We take it as it comes. We don't complain. We just take it in stride and move on. Not going to change anything. Until somebody can change it from the top, the people with the most power, maybe the president, the policy, the Supreme Court, maybe they can go and revisit those things if they want to, because they're destroying the society. I was telling the folks, I said, we the men, we the moment God created, we just kill the leg to suffer. Maybe I don't know whether we get a special reward in heaven or another planet, but on this planet they call Earth, there is nothing yet that was made to be bread and butter for us. We will struggle until we leave this planet, because that's how the system was built. We're supposed to do everything, guy. You can complain.
Well, you're sorry, folks. I left you guys in the middle of that conversation with Ghana. I'm not sure if you guys have pivoted.
No, that's why we're expanding on it with the DNA and the whole divorce thing and child support and all this stuff. Yeah.
Well, first of all, for me, the way I look at it is, it shows how much other countries that we claim that we're looking up to us have advanced, and it shows their willingness to keep an open mind to solve some social issues or religious, political, or traditional issues while incorporating or using technology. Because when you look at it for things like DNA or whatever it is, guess what? It requires technology and electricity. And so it shows you how much these people have stepped the game up. We might just be seeing it, or some people might just consider it from the point of, oh, they're introducing DNA, that's great. But it's bigger, because the work behind the scene that is required to even maintain those DNA machines, the people to be trained to do it, it takes some of the unnecessary noise in society. It clarifies, but I'm kudos to Ghana. If I were a Ghanaian, I would be super proud that we're even venturing this way. This is to tell you how far these guys have come, what they are able to do, what they're looking at, and how they're setting their country on path. Whereas when we say it, some people get this, we still wearing yellow suit to celebrate yellow machine.
Yellow machine, yeah.
Can you imagine that? Your friends are thinking 100 times better than you are thinking, and you think they're better than you. The truth about it is they're not better than you, but they're putting their brain to work.
Yeah.
They are. So this is big. This innovation, where in the United States we can rely on to be able to solve some social issues, alleviate some of the pressure from the government or the system, because right there the government don't have to chase anybody for child support. It will be established. You will know.
They're probably having a national database for DNA, so they can trust you.
But not only that, more. Guess what? It could even go above and beyond DNA to even help solve some crimes.
Yeah, solving crime to not only pertaining to the establishment, but crime.
Yes. Yeah. And one of the things I find out in most recent times, even in America, criminals and other people have gotten so smart to the point wherein they're beating the system, but DNA's the system has been able to identify people based on the samples that were left on the scene or things that were able to collect to be able to identify. So this is a big thing for Ghana. And to be honest, I don't envy Ghana. I'm very happy for them. I think this is the right step in the right direction. My only question is, when will Liberia get there? We still passing around, lying to ourselves. We put money in the budget, then we come out with recast. We got to recast one budget in a term. We recast it 3, 4, 5 times. When we say you're there with us, what sense does it make? I was listening to you the other day. I was tempted to call on the show, Monk. I was listening to you guys yesterday or the day before yesterday. What sense does it make? Think about this. You got a budget of 1.2 billion. Somebody tell you, say they're crediting you 200 million. And you celebrating that. When your budget can come
your budget is system the amount of borrowing.
So I don't understand. So
why you get 1,200 in your pocket and you having party because my little get $20?
Yeah. They say, you know what? Yeah, you having 200. Exactly so.
1,200 in your pocket because I have 1.2 billion. Then I say, oh, let's see, I get 2 buffers. They say, but tomorrow I having party because the money you give me, I just give my left hand.
And that's and to that, Steve, these are people, even in fact, when they were sorry, they have IMF money situation, or in fact, the IMF 200, some man our business came about a few times. They were talking, the first one, oh yeah, the budget are just paper, the budget are just projection, all the kind of things. So I'm like, oh, so you know that the budget are projection.
But here's the thing, though. Here's something that's funny before Abraham joined the conversation. There's something that's funny and very interesting that we got to take a look at. And I want to break it down in the simplest form so some of my because for me, I like to speak to our people in the simplest form and terms. Lemon said you get 1,200 that is all fee your family for the whole month. 1,200 where you got to buy bag of rent, everything. You get the money, you get it 1,200 in your pocket. Somebody tell you, say, well, next month, I won't credit you 200. And you say,
the whole week you having party because they borrow you 200.
Oh, but the person, the 200 they're borrowing you, the 200 they come and get you, the person say, interest on our 200. You're letting know that, so the person say, interest on our 200 will come and get you. The 200 that come and credit you, the interest that on it will be $80 or $75. Think about that. Then you go, you take that money that the person credited you. But you get a 1,200 in your pocket. It's either you stingy or you stupid. You gotta be one or two of them.
Yeah, it can be both.
It can be, look, something gotta be wrong somewhere because you can't have, I see you're passing around. And the problem there is you all want us to celebrate these things. No. Other countries, let me tell you something, Ghana, sitting what the people in Burkina Faso, other people, they moved away from IMF. Even Joseph Waka condemned IMF. The videos are there. You know what? Can somebody please send me that video? I know some of you are following. Can somebody please send me that video about Joseph Waka's statement regarding IMF so that we can play it on the show? Joseph Waka even contradicted himself, but they are celebrating IMF. The crediting for IMF, they're celebrating it. So where are we headed? Where are we headed? This is a sign of irresponsibility. It shows that you are not responsible. It shows that you are not ready. It shows that you got no plan. And it shows that we are a begging nation in the 21st century. We're still begging. So in IMF, we're not going to talk about that 200 and change. What happened to the 1.2 billion that you're celebrating? We'll do you say, well, that's realistic. Anyway, welcome the rest of the guys. Brother Abraham, I know you came before my salad, so let's get you on. Brother Abraham, how are you? Oh, I think Abraham is muted. Yeah.
Oh, listen, no, not media. I think that maybe muted me. Hello? You there? Yeah. Thank you, man. Good afternoon to you and then Mabel. How you doing, oh man? The birthday, man. Tomorrow the man day, guys. So happy pre-birthday, oh man. It take a few hours.
Yeah, I will warn you on the show. That birthday, man. I see you also.
But let me say, Mark, good afternoon, man. Ali, good afternoon to the followers. Great to be here. Listen, Steve, before I get to the topic you just ended on, Mabel, the social issue you Mongo talking about. Listen, people got to be very smart. You don't have to be a legal mind every time. That's why the people got some kind of law, maybe what they call prenuptial. If you think you get your properties, you have strived for it for so many years, and you sense that some kind of a gold digger coming around that want to take your properties, enter into prenuptial. If they don't want to agree, they mean to say that our property they want from you. Tell them, you say, look, I got my 3 houses here. I had it long before I met you. And we got to let it be a prenuptial, let it be declared that this thing here, you did not help me to find it here. So to think that you're coming to spend one year with me, then the next thing you go away, you want to divide your horses? No. So that's the law there. Because people are fond of this kind of behavior nowadays, especially in our period. I just wanted to point that out. Now, Steve, with regards to the budget issue you guys talking, mind you celebrating $250 million loan that you don't even know the calculation of the interest. Now, because if you're taking a loan here, first thing is that you got to be in a good credit standing. That's how they determine your interest. That's the first thing, even from the bank. Now, you told us here that there was one of the mining companies that's supposed to give you $200 million, interest free. You didn't celebrate that. It doesn't even impact the people's life. But you go borrow $250 million and you also go to be celebrating a riot, Steve. What sense around making? So I don't understand all of the rationale behind a lot of those things that go on over there. Those things are purely cosmetic, political cosmetic things. Yeah. It's not for the interest of the people. You understand? So it's a different. Just I think a week or two ago, you told us that though I don't know what the B Martin or one of these mining companies. Someone give you $200 million. I stand corrected, guys. Isn't that what they told us? And then you're gonna go borrow $250 million, and then you simply won't be celebrating for that. Come on. Lastly, Steve, you got a budget of $1.2 billion projected budget. Again, that budget is strictly half of Guinea's military budget. And you're telling, oh, we're not talking about the power of Guinea military here. So, I mean, the confusion is just all over the place. The people on the map all over the place. And I don't know where we're heading, guys. This is like a snake without, I mean, call it his snake, right? Yeah. I think that what we're sailing on here, Jai.
Thank you. Yeah. Masai, welcome me before we pivot the conversation because there are some important things that we need to talk about today. Very, very important.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to Mon. Happy pre-birthday to Mayborn, Mr. Kone, and to our audience out there. Good afternoon from my end. Glad to be here again. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Let me say this. Mayborn, you will play that first video of Chawan Gonglo. You play that video so the listening public can hear it. Let me say this to the public first. Let's give you context before we can get into the conversation. I wrote on my page that the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Jeremiah Poon, needs to be very careful. We have history of vice presidents either being targeted, being ousted, in other words, being unalive or killed, or however you want to term it, or being removed. This is very serious. This is not a joking thing, gentlemen. This is not a joking thing right now. And I want us to be serious about it. So I say this to say that, first of all, if the Liberian people are really serious for true, or the Liberian government is really serious for true, Vice President Jeremiah Poon should be investigated. Vice President Jeremiah Poon wants to create serious problem and tension between Liberia and Guinea. Vice President Jeremiah Poon, you know, after I listened to his interview, no disrespect, but I don't know how we elect these people to that kind of level. I don't know. But we're in some big problems. And Vice President Jeremiah Poon, if anything escalates from the time he spoke to today between Liberia and Guinea, will be Vice President Jeremiah Poon. His statements have been taken very seriously by the Guineans. There's a specific statement he made that they got men that can move in and cap. Look, there's some things you don't say. Military people, I've always said it. They're not your natural, your normal, regular guys. These guys are highly intelligent. They pay attention to things that you say. That's why even in America, when you come from the military, normally they bring you back into the security forces here, whether the FBI, the CIA, the police, and other places, because they understand, you understand the movement of some things. In the military is where you study different things, whether that's psychology, you get to understand human being at the highest level. You also get into technology. So this is not a joking thing. What Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn said is troubling, is problematic, and it will have problems on any diplomatic conversation that want to be held. Because the Guineans might want to know, who are those guys that are over there? So the Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn actually disclosed Liberia's secrets by using that word. They got men that can move in there. Well, let's listen to Chairman Congo. We'll get to the conversation. Noble, please help us if you can.
I have chosen to stand here on the side of the monument Lux in Tenebrae, which means light and darkness, to make a very important statement to the people of Liberia and Guinea. This monument is called Light in Darkness. There is current darkness permeating in the circles of our government. Just 2 days ago, our vice president made a very inflammatory statement that could escalate the problem between Guinea and Liberia. When he said there are people in Liberia that he did not want to call names, that 2 or 3 of them could take a seat in Guinea. That statement was irresponsible, reckless, and inflammatory, and is not expected of a responsible vice president of Liberia. He undermined his position by making that statement, jeopardizing the relationship between Liberia and Guinea. We don't need that. I said on my first comment on this issue that I can put my head on chopping board. Guinea will never fight Liberia, because as a former presidential envoy to Guinea, I was told by Guinean authorities that the Republic of Guinea owes so much to Liberia that it can never pay. But when there is a problem, there should be attempts to solve them. I suggested that the president of Liberia establishes a commission of inquiry to find what happened at the border and to suggest solutions. That's what responsible governments do. President Toba did that after April 14, 1979, street protests that became riotous. President George W. Bush did that in the United States in 2002. After 9/11, he established the 9/11 Commission Inquiry, out of which the National Security Director Office was created and the Homeland Security was also established. When something serious happens in any country, the wisest thing to do is to set up a fact-finding team. I suggested to be on that commission inquiry because I've been on commission of inquiry in Liberia. I was chair of one, but President Selly set up a commission inquiry to find out what happened between the student of J.L. Gibson and the police. In March 2011, I was appointed chair of that committee. I'm volunteered to be on the commission inquiry to find out what happened at the Makana River. Today, the president has now set up the commission. But they've gone ahead, the legislature, instead of going ahead and setting up the commission, as the U.S. Congress did, it was the U.S. Congress that established a commission, and the commission was approved by George W. Bush. So they expelled one of their members. Another member could make another statement. To stop all of those emotional reactions, there is a need to establish a commission inquiry because the Liberian people don't know what happened at the border. Even though Yaka Koluba was expelled, the Guineans are still in a position. I'm calling upon the president again to establish a commission inquiry to find out exactly what happened, and that commission will make recommendation. Then he will speak to the Liberian people. I'm asking him again to do it. But I want to speak about another thing about darkness in the government sector. Recently, the president himself, in reaction to criticism, said they criticize my government. They don't even live here.
No,
And
thank
talk about
you.
the backing door. That's
No, thank you so much, Chief. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Let me lay the premise first, and then we'll give the guys a chance to kind of delve into this conversation before we can pivot to maybe Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's conversation today. Some of the things she said. One of the things being the country is dirty. This is something that the United Party ran on. But let's talk about what Jawan Gonglo said. That being said, one thing I want you guys to keep in mind, those of you who will listen later on or are listening, is Dumuya came to power through a coup. You don't want to use certain words or certain phrases with him. Dumuya, when dealing with him, Dumuya is not your typical African army kind of guy. No. He's not your typical rebel, Liberian or Guinean or whatever. No. Dumuya was trained in France. Dumuya was trained in the US. Dumuya has extensive knowledge of security, intelligence, insights, things that people say, and things that people do. So you must be careful when you are making statements about him, regarding him, or anything that you would do, so you don't trigger some things. You don't make them to get in a position to want to position themselves. That against that backdrop, let's start with Mr. Masale. Mr. Masale, how do you react to? I know maybe you guys have talked about some of the things the vice president said, but this is something that, so we're still talking about the Guinea issue. How do you react?
This Guinea issue, we've been talking about it. Like we said, the president don't want to be transparent to the Liberian people because they talk about transparency. And I think even yesterday, Mr. Kumi talked the sitting. He said the sitting that had to do with transparency, by where the Liberian government should be able to tell the people, oh yes, I went to Guinea and I came back, but what led to this situation in Lofa County, or one Aliyu Masale, he went over there along with one Maybon. They were doing this, they were doing that, what an illegal manual whatsoever. Be transparent and tell the Liberian people what led to the situation and what people are going through today in Guinea. And this is what the government failed to do. They don't want to tell all the fight, what is going on and what led to it. They want to hide everything. They say they are following diplomacy. Now, if you people say everything you're following diplomacy, why will a sitting vice president come up with such reckless, irresponsible, and loose statement? Because that endangers the lives of our people today in Guinea. Now, if Guinea soldier can just see or some kind of bad men there working in their country right now, and they know that, oh yeah, these are Liberian, they can hold them. Oh yeah, the people that vice president said they get 3 men that can even say capture a whole city in a place. So to see a certain vice president speaking so irresponsibly, this is not good. I don't know, like I said the last time, which country is going to use Liberia as a case study to say this is the oldest country in Africa. Look at that infrastructure, look at the economy, look at this, look at that, we need to be like them. No, we just owe and irresponsible. You can't expect to see a vice president saying that. That's endanger the lives of Liberian in Guinea and even Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, other country. You can see Liberia anywhere that you don't know their intention. Their vice president already say, with the exception of the army, we get 3 men there that when they enter, they can capture a whole town. You know what that is? So like Mr. Gonglo said, that was very irresponsible on the part of the vice president. But again, children learn from their parents. Your president speak irresponsibly and loosely. So you should expect that from the vice president too. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me pivot to Monk really quick. Monk, let me ask you this question. Why you tackle this question, and then I'll get an AB on this. Let me ask you this question, Monk. Does the vice president, does the Liberian government have another army or another group of people that the Liberian people don't know about? Maybe they pay their own salary, because what the vice president said, essentially trying to tell the world, he's trying to tell us, for someone who heard what he said, people can interpret how they want to interpret, but what he said was literal. That they got men who can move into Guinea. Does that mean we got people there who just, we don't know about in the country? What is that supposed to mean?
Maybe they got another brigade of the rescue soldier and brought naked and crew. Maybe that they want, because I don't know. Maybe the vice president is living in total fantasy that we have people that can take few men that can take over whole cities. That's open defiance. That's war posture.
Yep.
like throwing a bait to Guinea to test the strength of their military, that you can underestimate, like, bro, but we are stronger than what you think. So you get a total contradiction. Like I said, of all the people that have made statement concerning the whole border issue, I think Yeke made the least threatening statement, because he was talking about a land dispute. For the case of Amara Kone, he was talking about the reality, but he was using military hardware and spending to make comparison. Right. But the vice president, I think he broke the scale in terms of a national security threat, because, like I said, it's an open defiance. He literally baiting Guinea into war to test, to not underestimate Labro. And so maybe Guinea might want to test our strength, because while we are, he's the number 2 man in command. In some instances, he can even serve as president, because maybe when the president out of the country, he's the president technically by reason of law. So you cannot have an administration that keep creating this idea that they are pushing about peace. Then your vice president, number 2 in command, is testing the other country's strength by throwing red meat, because I will call that red meat in political terms. You want to call it red meat. You're trying to bait Guinea, because you're literally saying, like, bro, it's stronger than you think. So no matter how much you invest in your military, maybe you think our military is a paper tiger, but we got individuals in the country that were tested by means of war, and they can take you guys on. That's exactly what he was saying. So I thought they would have been calling for the removal of Jeremiah Kun within 30 minutes, but they are not interested in that. So it means Yeke called about just a political target. And Otewan Gonglo said something very profound about the 9/11 Commission, because he was the one that threatened to start the whole process of impeachment if the president cannot tell exactly what's happening at the border, because the president's silence alone is also a national security threat. But maybe Joseph Boakai don't understand that, and he's going to be the commander-in-chief. Joseph Boakai's silence alone is an attack on Liberia, because we don't know what's happening. We are left in limbo. The Guineans still occupy our territory. And when he talked about the 9/11 commissioner, he left us something. There was something called a Patriot Act that was passed after 9/11, wherein America had to compromise for individual freedom, because the federal government, because of 9/11, we had to share information. They had to intrude in people's privacy just for national security sake. And I can remember the Supreme Court at the time said, no, we cannot give our fundamental right in the name of security. But Bush said we're dealing with a war, different kind of a war. There is not country to country. We are talking about terrorism. So some fundamental right that American used to have, but then we had to compromise it in exchange for security. So within that same bill, we had to share American information with 5 countries, with the government called the 5I. It was America, it was the UK, it was Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, that we had to share American information with those other countries just to make sure we can counter out terrorism around the world, or in the name of security. So
thank you.
Another thing that came from that bill as well.
Thank you, Mo. We'll revisit the conversation, because I think people are overlooking what Jeremiah Kun said, but it's troubling, it's problematic, and it's deeper than what you guys are thinking and joking around with. But let's get to AB. AB, let me ask you this question. Because the facts are the facts, and one of the facts here is, whether you're a Liberian or whether you choose to stay with Libro, you don't want to stay with Libro, that's one of your problem. The fact is, on a given day, right now, if Guinea and Libro should go into equity, Libro will not make it. So my question to you is this: no, Libro will not make it. That's just a truth. We don't have the manpower. Guinea is every one Guinean soldier will take out maybe 10 or 15 about that. So that's a side point. Yeah, if your entire budget have the people military budget size.
That's my point.
So Eddie, here's my question to you. On top of the questions that we're already asking,
right?
Yeah, here's my question to you. Do you think Liberia, through the vice president, should be making such public statement that they got men that can go into Guinea and capture towns especially when you're dealing with a junta government, because Mamadou Dunia has not resigned from the army yet. Nope, he resigned yet. The record, he has not resigned. So what say you?
They may still wear military uniforms. Yeah, my right off the back, the answer is no. My vice president should not be making these kind of reckless statements. Two, I will state categorically that the vice president and his staff, they are doing him no good. It's obvious that this guy, like he boasted that he got briefings. He's not informed properly, and he's never prepared by his staff to take to the airwaves. That is obvious, because the military gap, the Puto situation right now, and the fact that the man he's telling you that foreigners are taking the jobs of Liberia, those are irresponsible and ill-prepared statements for a sitting vice president. So your answer is no, Steve. But let's get back to this thing. Do you know why Liberia war became so easy to penetrate Sierra Leone, at the Ivory Coast and Sierra Leone? Because you had a government, a president that was as odd with people like Ofoe. And you know why? Samuel Doe, they threw Ofoe father-in-law and killed his daughter's husband, A.B. Talbot. It never sat good with Ofoe, and that he did everything in his power to make sure that the Doe government was undermined. Sierra Leone, so was with the case with Siaka Stephen. Siaka Stephen and Doe never had it like that, and those are your surrounding neighbors. That's why you saw the Podia group, even the Joe Wally and Tia could talk about the guys who penetrate Sierra Leone and they come to Liberia. To have a sitting vice president, you are telling me emphatically that you have a mercenary group that can invade a sovereign nation. If he had narrowed his statement to talk about, oh yeah, we have an army that can defend Liberia, that would have at least suffice. But to tell that we got men around here, you got men around, those are mercenary groups. Even in the United States, we got Blackwater around here, but Blackwater, before they take out a contract somewhere, is always stated that, oh, Blackwater, they ain't know they're going to do X, Y, Z, so and so forth. That's the case, correct?
Yeah.
Now, in the case, like for instance, Pete Hexter, just yesterday or day before yesterday, that guy was excoriated by the legislative branch with question why people got to die at the various embassies, because according to them, according to the legislator, right or wrong, that indeed the military were not prepared and they did not safeguard the lives of those people. In the open, it was not backdoor hearing. But Steve, to close on this, you have a government that I have never even had a public hearing. Not the defense minister, not the president, nobody, the justice minister have not even addressed or have a legislative hearings on the prevailing situation at the border. For you to have a president, a vice president, so I get briefing. And I hear people saying, the Guinean Liberian government the Liberian army cannot make it again. Look, those are childish talk. I understand. Vice President Koo is a young man. Maybe he don't experience a lot of those things, but you got to be prepared when you take into the airway, because a lot of time when the statement emanates from the executive branch, which are the second main command, it becomes a policy issue. And don't take it lightly. Guinea is studying that very critically. Don't take it lightly. And that's an exposure for the Liberian.
I don't want to be the one asking you guys. I just want to flip the whole thing back to you guys. Or I'm not going to put in the form of a question. I just want to remind you, because it's kind of a little bit confusing. When we talk about the hierarchy of power, you get qualified as an elected official. Jeremiah Koo is second in command. In some instances, he also the president of Liberia, if you want to talk in terms of absence of the president.
Yep. In fact, Monk, please, let me inject a quick. Jeremiah Koo, when he spoke, he was the president of Liberia because Joseph Barrow was out of the country.
Out of the country. Okay. Yep. Yes. So, yeah is where the confusion comes in, right? Like I said, we just want to say, oh, he spoke recklessly, but that's not the standard, because you have set the wrong standard for a regular lawmaker in the lower house for
Yes.
expulsion. Now, the man who's speaking in the absence of the president as president, his statement is even more reckless than what Yeke said.
That's the
So
point.
how do you make the case for Yeke? Because like I said, Yeke's statement was not national security, it was border dispute.
Yeah,
When it comes to border dispute or disputed land, anybody is free to have their opinion. But this is the number 2 in command sending an open defiance to Guinea indirectly. So if we're just going to say his statement, oh, he spoke recklessly, then we can also make the case that Yeke spoke recklessly.
Well, most definitely so. Most definitely so.
Worse than Yeke. So if Yeke, who was elected, because Jeremiah got, we don't go to the election to vote for vice president. The vice president count, the presidency counts as 2 in 1. He was on a ticket that was voted for. So when we talk about direct representation, Yeke Koluba is more legitimate than Jeremiah Kun. Because Jeremiah Kun was on a ticket with a president. Yeke Koluba was individually elected. So if we're going to punish Yeke Koluba to that extent, then how can Jeremiah Kun be vice president when even his statement is worse than Yeke's statement in terms of national security and a threat? I just want to make somebody my call to let you.
Thank you, Mo. Thank you for that point. But let me ask you guys this other question. I know Milborn stepped out, but he did inform us that we are still here. We're still on the radio. The guys are just giving the news bulletin.
Okay.
Still with us. But let me ask you guys this question on the flip side of things. The government position most recently has been diplomatic conversation. Did Jeremiah Kun try to undermine Joseph Boakai position on this Guinean issue by making that statement? The fact that Jeremiah Kun says he gets briefing before he made that statement, because we got to keep it in context. He didn't make a statement out of context. He made a statement within context. Did Jeremiah Kun get a briefing that said that they got men that could go into Guinea and capture this place and do that and do this? So my question is Jeremiah Kun openly having his own policy than he boss's policy? Let's hear from Mr. Masale.
Oh, this government, everybody can speak here without consulting your boss at times. So that's why we are seeing, because you people say you're following diplomacy, and your bossman, which is the president, he went to Guinea, he came back till today. He can tell Liberian people what they discuss. And these are some of the things, because like we just you just talk about Yeke Koluba, because Yeke Koluba may ought to understand that Boakai went to Guinea and they had a discussion with Dumuya, and it was clear that the land belongs to Guinea, so there is nothing they can do about it. And according to Yeke, Boakai King, he had a meeting with the senators and he told them what he discussed. So there is nothing they can do, because he went there, he killed 0. Your speaker went there, he went low for 0. Your police IG went low for 0. And Yeke said this thing, and today Nyatwen just vindicated Yeke by saying that whatsoever statement Amara Kone made was what the president told them, and it was not to be disclosed. So Yeke had been vindicated. And today, looking at the vice president understatement, I think, like you said, I think he's the one that is supposed to be trying to say how he can step down for them to get him out of where he is right now, because his understatement is more dangerous than why Yeke said that the land belongs to Guinea.
Yeah.
You see, his statement is more dangerous than Yeke. And for you to come and tell Liberian people that you get briefing, every morning you get briefing, every morning you get briefing. So yes, we know the president get national security briefing every morning, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and you the vice president, you telling all that you get your own briefing. So you already know what's going on. And because of the briefing that you're getting every morning, you just sending a warning to Guinea that they shouldn't just look at our military and overlook them. We get only 3% that can capture the whole country or any city. So
thank you.
Even if Joseph Boakai was somebody who had leadership ability, who knows his work, but now we're supposed to be talking about the former vice president.
Thank you. AB, did the vice president undermine the president's position to negotiation and diplomacy?
Off the back, I would say sort of he did that. Because Steve, like Ali just stated, the man laid a premise first. And he made the Liberians to understand that he gets briefing every morning. So he was speaking authoritatively. He was speaking in his capacity because there was an official program that was said that, oh, the president, the vice president will be, taking the press today. So indeed, yes, he's on the mind. But Steve, just before we even delve into that, I believe that his boss has a problem with him because the fact that he even stated that the government had concluded a deal with the Putu Mountain and the person he mentioned only for his bossman to immediately suspend that particular arrangement yesterday.
Right.
What it tells you that he got some problem with his utterances.
Most definitely.
And that's what I'm saying. His staff is not doing him good.
Oh.
Yes. So I know Monk can come in. Maybe he got a different take on it. I don't know, but he can come.
Yeah, let me, Mr. Dishu, I'm very sorry. I didn't even notice you were in the back. I am very, very sorry. Didn't mean to keep you in the back that long. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it. I just realized it not too long ago now. But let's go to Monk. Mr. Dishu, welcome to the show. We'll go to Monk.
Yeah, hi, Steve, and hi to the group. Monk, Abraham, and Alio. And maybe I say hi. The very, very interesting topic. I was a little bit busy, but I joined one thing because I had one or two experience.
Yeah, we'll come to you, Mr. Dishu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, want to make sure we give you your own time to allocate your time. We don't want to have to interject. You know what I mean? Because you're just
right.
joining.
Right.
We wanted to welcome you. And again, I'm sorry that you were kept in the back for I think a few minutes. I don't know how long you were there. I didn't even see you because my thing is the way you're arranged here. I'm not seeing everybody like that. But I'm sorry that we got you on a little later. But Monk, let's go based off what AB just alluded to, that the president, in essence, after the vice president, who was the sitting president while the president was going in the country, while the president was out of the country, he was in charge of the nation, went on radio to announce to the Liberian people that the government has reached an agreement with a certain company. Apart from his statement about the war or having men that are Guinea, while the president is, quote unquote, pursuing diplomatic work. My question to you is, do you think there is a problem between the vice president and the president, especially in terms of policies, in terms of final decision making, in terms of moving the country forward? What kind of signal is sending to us or to the world?
It tells that the rescue team is just a disjointed organization or unit. Because I can understand one thing if it was Daniel Sano and Jeremiah, I know his name, but I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah.
Information minister.
Pia.
Geraldine. It needs Geraldine Pia.
Yeah, I can understand if there was a miscommunication between the Sando guy and the man from the information ministry. But we're talking about number one and number two. And I think AB noticed a troubling trend that this vice president, his staffers, they are not doing any better because he speaks loosely. His information are not coherent. He put out numbers up there that can confuse you at times. When it comes to concessions agreement, like we got an example with the BA Mountain, the kind of a figure that BA Mountain.
Yeah, yesterday we're talking about more. You're right.
In a single year. And he made the same thing with Asalo Mita. So somebody posted into that, like, but where the guy keep giving his figures from? Because if Asalo Mita would be giving like almost 200 million over the period of 25 years as sign up bonus. You telling me BA Mountain going to give a $200 million within a single year because the number of gold exported? So I don't know. And the same thing was seen in the national security. Like you cannot be having these gaps one after another as a politician, especially number two in command, and in some instances number one in command in the absence of the president. So I find it very troubling. And I thought the whole country will be outraged today to be calling for the removal of Jeremiah Combe because you talking about removing a man for land dispute, and this man, like I said, he's sending an open defiance to the Guinean military. That we are stronger than what you think we are. That we got men in this country that we can take you on. And the president cannot come and be talking about reconciliation, then the vice president talking about because I don't know whether we got some John Rambo and some Dolph Lundgren and all those, or picking at the people and Sylvester Stallone and all those guys in Red Skull. So maybe they got something like, bro, I don't know, because I haven't heard it from anyone in the AFL. So maybe the president got a secret military somewhere that they are willing to take on Guinea by virtue of the vice president's statement. That's all I can say. Where's the outrage? And there is no outrage for the vice president. So yes. I stop there.
Thank you, Monk. Let's make time for Mr. Dishu. Mr. Dishu, I know you joined us a little later, but probably been following the conversation. Where are we? The government is the vice president, who was maybe the acting president or the person in charge when the president left, went on the radio and seemingly contradicted his boss's policy, which is Joseph Bagawa in America, and said that they've reached an agreement mounting. But not only that, he went as far as saying that, they got men in the country that can go into Guinea and capture towns. While the president is claiming that they are pursuing diplomatic routes, they're having conversation. What do you make of these contradictory? But then the president also yesterday put hold to the quote-unquote agreement that was made, chaired by the vice president, pull hold to. Is this a contradiction? Is there confusion? What is going on? Are they on the same line in terms of politics? What's happening?
I think Monk used the right word, disjointed. What I realized is that Joe Barker told us that when he was vice president, he was like a parked old car. And in his government, he would try to make the vice president a person of interest. Now, I don't know whether he's making a mistake or what, but what is happening, what I realized is happening is that he gave certain responsibility to the vice president, and he wants an outcome that will be pleased by him and the Liberian people. That means to say, Joe Barker made a right choice. The vice president is good. But what is happening is that the different committees that he set up and put the vice president as head, the information that the vice president has been giving the public, there have been things that not real, on a popular radio station, he made a lot of things. He said a lot of things, rather, that if you go and do fast checking, it's not right. And as a vice president, I believe that his message is very heavy. And if he makes those kind of mistakes and give wrong information to the public, I think he will be deceived in the end by the people not wanting him. And another thing, that Guinea problem, we have all been seeing it gone 3 months, and you cannot go through diplomatic channel and last 3 months without any outcome. The taxpayer money was used for the president to travel to go and seek some kind of arrangement with other neighboring countries to be able to alleviate this problem.
Right.
But the problem still persists. And what is happening now is that we are all said, and I have been seeing and still pointing to it, is that the government refused to tell us actually what happened at that border. That is the $1 million question. What happened at the border? Why did the Guineans handle this in a way that it was going to be debatable? What I'm saying is that if our government knows that it was not the crossing of border business and it were other things pertaining to the mining business, which they're trying to keep tight lips on, I think that will expose everything. If the government had come first and have tried to alter it in a way to say it's the mining business too, and try to put something in between it for us to realize, oh, okay, because of that. but they left it completely off, and that is the sole problem. That is the sole problem, you know. And the next one is that I call in Guinea. I have some connections there, and I asked the reason why the people went, the soldiers went to the border. They said they were told that they got information that Liberia wanted to overthrow Lomoya. Serious. So they sent military people out there. Now, with that being said, and have been quiet down to a particular point, the vice president coming in and making such a statement, that means to say it will rejuvenate the mindset of the Guinean people that, oh, but these people say they got people that can come and wipe our place out, you know? So they have the ability. And I know that I mockery that what the vice president said, it was something that he realized, I think, from another point, that what he said was BS. Because if you are trying to flag yourself out as a strong person, as a strong leader, and coming up with such a statement, we're all known the fact about it that we don't have a military to stand the Guineans. I think he made mockery of himself, you know, because he said those things because he knows that the 95% of the people are gullible. So what he said, the man in the street will say, oh, our vice president is a strong man. That man is not afraid. The man ready to go to war. You see the old man scared. But our man is ready to go to war. So these are some of the things that I believe that will cause friction if we don't think about it and we don't do something about it in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dishu.
I want to come in. Something Mr. Dishu said very profound.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which you can interpret as undermining the president.
Okay, I want to welcome Melbourne back, please. Melbourne, want to welcome you back.
The reason I interrupted because Mr. DC said something profound when you're talking about the vice president posting the kind of a warlock poster when it comes to Guinea, they open defiance. You could interpret as trying to undermine the president because the number one criticism about the president when it comes to the Guineans, the reaction from the president is he's showing a sign of weakness. We all understand the military is not there to counter out Guinea incursion. But equally so, there are ways that you handle it to project strength because you want to send some kind of a strength or sign of strength to the other country. So maybe the vice president think that he could use it to advantage to tell the country indirectly that I will be better off in this position than the guy who you have now because I'm much younger, I'm more stronger, and maybe that's what he's trying to imply. Because if the president is pushing peace by going to other regional bodies, whether it's the EU or ECOWAS or the UN, because of our seat on the non-permanent member council, why would the vice president make such a statement? So you could interpret it both ways. And I think Mr. DC got it right, that he's trying to project strength. And you cannot be number two in command and be projecting strength more than your commander-in-chief. So in another sense, it's a form of undermining the president, Steve, that you suggested from the beginning of this particular topic. Yeah.
Thank you, Monk. You know, yesterday, we'll hear from Milborn quickly because I would like Milborn's take, unless he doesn't want to talk about it. You know, yesterday I posted in, you know, sometimes when you post, people get mad, they get pissed off. You know, yesterday I posted something on my page.
You're getting that feeling, Steve.
Yeah, I said VP Kuhn seems to be undermining and undercutting JMB. His current and most recent interview exposed different policies and views on issues than JMB. And I want him to be careful because, you know, whether you like it or not, I think Milborn left here. Okay, Milborn will be back. Whether you like it or not, we have to be clear about some things. And this has nothing to do with politics. We have a history in our country wherein vice presidents were removed, whether they were lied on, whether it was all the quote-unquote political games and they got caught in the middle, whether it was somebody feeling inferior that the vice president was doing too much and the vice president wanted to overshadow them or whatever it is always the case. And Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn has shown to be overly ambitious in many different ways. In fact, during the campaign, Vice President Jeremiah Cohn's quote-unquote godfather, who was Prince Johnson, alluded to the fact that Jeremiah Cohen is the next man in line for the presidency. And that's why, in fact, they were able to throw all their support behind Joseph Yoman Boakai, with the thoughts, with the feelings, with the impression that Joseph Boakai would have gone for the first 1 or 2 years and probably turn power over to him. So this is something that's very, 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 very interesting to see him exposing himself and showing a hand this early. I'm very concerned about him. Let me be very careful. Let me just be very clear about it. I mean, not careful. Let me be clear about it. I'm concerned about him. I'm concerned about him because I know the history of Liberia and vice presidency and the issue of power in that country. You can't be working anywhere you go, sir. You can't be working with your bosses or your boss and try to undercut them or whatever it is based on policies and on other issues. So, I know Melbourne's left, but let's pivot a little bit. What is your overall impression of the conversation today with former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf? What is the overall impression? Let's hear from. Let's start with Mr. Dishiu on this one. Mr. Dishiu, what's your overall impression of the former president or interview today? Mr. Dishiu, you there?
Yes, I'm here, Steve. Yeah, I listened to the former president, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. But what I picked up from that was that she was trying to tell the Liberian people that the government in power, all of what they're trying to portray that they are the one who bring all the things first. She tried to denounce it that it was during her government and Joe Boakai was vice president, that most of the projects were put out and paid for. She used the word and paid for. So it is good that this government is trying to bring it back up, that it was during that time, that tenure, that these things were brought to light, budget were allocated and money was paid for the different projects. So since Joe was vice president, she felt good that he trying to reinstate all of those things that they didn't do at that particular time. And also, she made mention about the dirt in the street, that every time she goes out there, that the city is dirty. She's sending a message to the government again, telling them that you're not doing nothing. You're not doing nothing. All of what you have in this city is still dirty. She put it right in their faces, that things are not right.
Okay.
And they should be able to do better. That's what I picked up from her.
Thank you, Mr. Dishiu. Let me push this question a little bit because you made another point that brings something to mind. I will start with Monk on this side of the question, and we'll take it down the aisle. Monk, the fact that President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf can publicly and openly say that Joseph Boakai is still running on her policies from 2005 to 2016, for which the Liberian people voted against the Unity Party. Did Joseph Boakai and his team lie to the Liberian people that they were going to continue Ellen Johnson Sirleaf policy with them?
Well, we said it from day one. Joseph Boakai, like I said, is just part of a personality trait that he will want to take credit for things that work and distance himself for things that didn't work. That's why he said with squander opportunity, we could have done more. Okay, Madam Sirleaf took over that country, like I said. She was not the most perfect president in history, but I know she inherited a lot. Liberia was a broken state that they had to come and start everything from scratch, to rebuild almost all the institutions, everything from scratch. So I know there were some places that they never performed, but overall performance was not so bad. I mean, at the time, she was the best president to take over that country after the 2005 elections. But the thing I pick up, she talked extensively about the Yaga situation, investment, education, and healthcare, and some other institutions that they put in place. But I think they've been the architect and the procurement that were made and some of the projects that were paid for, I think were a little bit political in my view. Because technically, Georgia took over directly from Madam Salif. It wasn't Joseph Newman Boaka. So if you want to tell me that 6 years after a previous administration and Joseph Boaka project has stayed your project, then why you didn't say that about Georgia? Because I know Georgia couldn't have done anything with Madam Salif. He never brought a single investment in 6 years, not even a plastic bottle of water coming to Liberia. But the question is, why would you say that Joseph Newman Boaka projects are your ideas? And he came later after another administration for 6 years. That's why I sense a little the political undertone. I sense something like, okay, I understand everything you said today, but this one a little bit confused because Boaka came after Georgia. If Boaka had come before Georgia, then I can say, okay, he running on your platform or your idea 100%. But there was another administration between before Boaka took over. So I'm not buying too much into that. I thought she just wanted to hit them hard in from a political standpoint, and that's why she made that comment. That's my interpretation. Maybe she might be right. There are some things that they are doing, but to say that you were the architect, the procurement, the finances, and everything came from you. But then what happened to the other guy that was there for 6 years before Boaka?
Okay. I mean, that's a valid point, Monk. That's a great point you made. But let me go to AB quick down, kind of Mr. Masale. Mr. Masale, and then we'll probably go to the line to hear from our people, then we'll react to it. Like I said, we have a lot of cover to this, so we'll kind of be moving around here. Let's go to Brother AB quick before I come to Mr. Masale. Brother AB, let me ask you this question, because I think the point Mom makes, somebody got a thing on and making feedback. Yeah, that was Masale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was Mr. Masale. Someone like echo coming from the end. So the point Mom makes is clear, it's valid, it's great. But let me ask you this direct question.
Sure.
Based on what Madam Ellen Johnson said in terms of the things that Joseph Boaka is doing right now, does it mean that the whole rescue plan that they have, I don't know how to term it, CDC had the ATB or whatever foolishness they are going to achieve. Joseph Boaka came in with the arrest agenda. Does it mean that basically Ellen Johnson was saying that Joseph Boaka don't know what he's doing, that she taking order from him and our policy implementing? Because that's kind of discrediting him there.
Why me?
Yeah. You know, the thing about it, the few takes away from what Madam Salif stated today. I didn't listen to the entirety of it, but what I would deduce from the that comparison with regards to all the running on the same program and this and that, it's just telling you that she's inadvertently stating that Mr. Boaka lack innovation.
Right. Okay.
He's not doing anything. That's what it implies to me. Oh, the major takeaway, Steve, we all speculated, or Liberians, majority, if not majority, speculated that the connections, the intelligence of Madam Salif was going to be maximized by this, especially her own party, the Unity Party. Case in point with this conflict. And Madam Salif told you that in fact nobody had reached out to her for anything. She stated that today. That was a major takeaway for me, because I was under the impression here that Madam Salif making some calls to regional leaders, to international community, where she can pull some strings to mount some pressure on Guinea, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And that she said that nobody had reached out to her for that. Okay, so yeah, thank you. Okay. So in that vein, Steve, with regard to the project things, look, those for me, those are insignificant conversations, quite honestly. Oh, the person continued from here, this person continued from there. I mean, for me, it's immaterial to me, especially with regard to the conversation. But another thing that she emphasized, and all of the major stakeholders in the Republic, because until you are a despotic leader or draconian, if all of your stakeholders, be it even from your own party, they're telling you that you are proceeding wrongly, especially when it comes to the Yeka issue, and they are not paying any attention, she emphasized, she stated that categorically. Where people will say, oh, she jails some people, X, Y, Z. But at this point in time, she's telling you that she enacted a freedom of act, and then, of course, it became a law under President Weah and so on and so forth. What happened with that law today? You got a sitting vice president that is telling you that you got, other than your national army, you got mercenaries, so to speak.
Right.
Number one, not his words, that they can just go and capture a whole town. Those are rebel behaviors. If your president said that and nothing happening, maybe that what prompted Madam Sali to even emphasize that Isha Yeke. I know she will not say, oh, yeah, the vice president should incriminate the vice president, but those are comparisons, you know, indirectly. So that those are my things away from that conversation, Steve.
Thank you, Avi. Mr. Masale, are you there? All right, Mr. Masale, I will give you the question. I'll give the same question to Milburn. Mr. Masale, get a huge feedback from your back there.
Well, I don't know because I don't have nothing on here.
Okay, that's fine. But let me ask you the question. The same question will go to Milburn. Most recently, we saw the Unity Party in the opposition. When they were in opposition, they campaigned against CDC, pointed out that the country is dirty. Madam Ellen Johnson said the country is dirty. Jose Yuma Boaga has been there for about 3 years now. My question is, does it show that Jose Boaga got no idea, he got nothing going on, he was waiting for Ellen Johnson to tell him what's going on and then he would do it? Because she said everything that he's doing, basically, she don't want the whole policy, he still continue on. He get no innovation, he get no, the Jeremiah Kun would say, bring on down the drain, he get nothing new to offer. What say you?
Yeah, thank you. That, you know, like you said, during the campaign period, those were some of the things that the city was dirty. Jefferson Koji don't know what he was doing, and the Unity Party people, they promised, or like even doing Joseph Boakai or Sona Adria, he always talk about sanitation, how they are doing well in this thing. This is why I don't fall for his talks, because these are all rhetorics, lies, and deception. And some of us, when we talk about the city being dirty, people say, oh, you're in here. Okay. Because we see it on video, we see how Douala Market looking, how waters are looking there. I saw another video, the lady was like doing George we had time. At least the dare used to be to the cemetery, to the graveyard thing, but right now it's right in the middle of the street. But we always say this thing, they say we are not there. Like Joseph Baka already said that we are not part of them. They shouldn't listen to us. But today, Madam Sadi, she's there, and she's telling us how filthy, how dirty, how stinking the country is. So, Mayborn, you in the country with Madam Sadi, please tell us how the country is. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayborn, quickly, before you go to the line, so take a few calls, then we'll react. Do you agree with Madam Ellen Johnson said that former President of the Republic of Liberia, the country is dirty? Do you also believe or that based on what you see in the country, and Mr. Cummings said, you listen to this statement, Mr. Cummings said nothing's changed. So that means from Ellington to now, it seems like Ellen, Joe, we are, Joseph Boaga, all of them following the same policy.
Yes.
Actually, has nothing changed.
Yesterday, and 1 second, see, that's why I said yesterday, if Joseph Boaga could just play Mr. Cummings 1 hour interview yesterday and follow exactly what Mr. Cummings said, he remaining 3 years, he will get a better government.
No, but he can't follow it because Ellen Johnson said he already gave him the template to work on. Ellen Johnson said telling him what to do. Go ahead, Milburn.
Well, thank you, Steve, and let me say thanks to the other panelists, I think, for their input, and that was right. Everything, I think, I agree with former President Sktv-Lib that our city is not really up to task. Mind you, though, all of the things we use as campaign tools. In fact, yesterday when we were talking about these things, the opposition by them, they were using these things as a way of campaigning. But we were talking about how our streets, how the city was dirty and so forth. But they were using these things as a way of campaigning to get votes. So, in fact, it's also surprising to me that the Jefferson Koji once upon a time that they used to call, I don't know, Gucci or Wakanachi, city mayor. Now even winning opinion polls when it comes to most of other county. So I was like, but I thought the guy was not working. In fact, the city was dirty and so forth, back to back, and he was kind of campaign. But again, Monk, Steve, it's true that yes, indeed, our city is seriously challenging. Let me be frank. I don't know.
Oh man, they said they're dirty or they said they're challenge. Let just give all the funny word. They said they're dirty or not.
I tell you what, they said they challenge.
Hey, what you saying challenge? What do you say? Don't bring no down here. They said they're dirty.
That's not national security issue.
Hey, say challenge. What do you use of your city challenge? But anyway, that takes you course.
It's dirty and yes, until the
last one. Tomorrow you gotta be awesome about your leadership.
And the last one that you are asking about, I think you're talking about the system, the government. Yes, Madam Sally may be right, and more was saying, because after war she fought hard to get all these systems. The only problem for some of us, the only serious problem some of us that we have with Madam Sally was to make these government, maybe employees or the lawmakers' salary to go to the level that there was some of us, they will have issue today. I mean, be frank. But fighting hard for the system to be to where the system is today, I will tell you that yes, we try our best. But because of corruption, and she made that today, she also talked about that yes, indeed, this in fact, in this era, it's not time for corruption, because if you do corruption, nobody giving you money. Nobody paying attention to you anymore. Nobody giving you free money. So the time will be taken to be eating our money, or in the name of corruption, will be maybe taking our country to another step, 50 or something. So again, because of corruption, to that what get us to where we are, and any other system that you think about putting system together after war, yes, you try our best, but our system is seriously corrupt. So for me, when it comes to the issue of projects that other than that they are funding, but I think one of our panelists on the show talk about that. I think once upon a time that yes, when it comes to road business, they road issue that one that every government put a project there. That one that everybody left. So that, for example, if Melbourne want to build road in Lofa, maybe the road are going to Lofa, that one want to build. Then I think about the school in some kind of school now in some kind of community in Lofa. I build that one, that different project. That one that the president own project there. So you can have general projects, then you have your own, innovative or something that you think about to do for maybe some community or some places where there are maybe no school, no hospital, nothing. You do this kind of thing. We say yes, that one are your own. So all of the government, they are all copying from the past of, in fact, from Manaseli. The only difference is that there's someone talk about former president. We are building the 14-meter hospital, yes. Building the Emery Hospital, yes. I think these are just few things that are not part of maybe the general project of our governance system. So for that one, I will agree with her. She was right when she talked about most of the projects, like for example, the overhead bridge, the ministerial complex, and the other thing. Yeah, these are all things that started from her tenure. Yeah, so another thing before we go to the line, and maybe any of you want to have your say quickly before going to the line.
Like the one Madam Sedi said about this Lofa border issue, wherein Baka did even said reach out to her. You see, Melbourne, like you will see in Ghana, you will see in Nigeria, other countries around the world, you will see the present leader at certain time, certain thing will be happening, they will call the past leader. They say that they have conversation on it. These are things we expect for old men Baka, because you've been around for a very long period of time. Why can't you learn some of these things? Like we know George Weah is now your mate. Like you work with Madam Sedi because you prefer to see the dog than to even see George Weah. Like Madam Sedi, now you can call her. She's your former boss. This Lofa issue. See what is going on. And to
that corporate, but Ali, maybe we'll take one of the day, maybe beginning next week, to look at the kind of hatred between our leaders. And I think that's fair. I was telling one of my colleagues, or in fact one of my friends, that we were talking about all the, the same thing about all the leaders. How come they are not speaking? And and we're talking about maybe because Manasarino never support. I said no. How people managed to know Joseph Boakai today was through Manasarino. No, but anyway, we'll find one day for all of these things. Yes. Some of you behind the scene today, you sit down there, you are supporting all these things. How people manage to know Joseph Boakai? Some of you today,
like that, you reach out to her, you discuss this thing with her, and see why role she will play. But because Boakai knows those people who are involved into that whole illegal manner whatsoever activity that led to the incident today in Lofa County, so he can reach out to nobody because they're his own people, and he don't want to persecute them. He don't want to put them out there for people to see.
They would make that, for example,
so he put our people in harm's way in Lofa County.
Even when we have issues, like myself, even when we have issues, then we say, because I will say I will not speak to other like just because quote unquote, yeah, because like myself we have issues. That means something may be wrong with me. No matter what, even the situation. But again, at the country, man, that's just moment hatred just too much between
But
us.
but maybe just before you go to the line, real quick, just for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody on the line already. Go ahead.
Yeah, quickly. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Lamusa. I'm calling you from Brazil. You know, when I was listening just now to Mr. Tishu, if every other thing that he had ever said, this one is saying, and that is the fundamental issue that which has to do with the Guinea issue. Guinea, the guy know he came into power through our military means. He had then jittery about possibility. He had explored like very succeeded, and 2 other persons were extradited, and we're hearing that some of them were even killed. He still believed that men that came along with these people here, some of them are even in Sierra Leone and in Liberia. So they are always in the fear that these people are going to go into war through him. So Liberia and Sierra Leone, those territories that he are taking, is just a platform in order to see.
But Sierra Leone already gave up and they admitted that in fact that plan for them. So that assume that okay. I come in, I agree with you. I come in now. Hello, I come in now. I will agree that maybe for the security reason he will say maybe this and that. But at the end of the day too, the Sierra Leone government already admitted that yes, they plan for them.
No, it's not Sierra Leone government, it's an official.
Okay. I don't know which one is which, but hello to this caller. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much. This is something really representing for Sierra Leone. That's it.
Well, my brother, we're not getting you quickly to this caller. Good evening.
By the way, upon receiving the 34th Annual African Peace Award, I really almost
So these are one of the problems that they are facing.
Exactly.
To get that idea. Any president that comes, he will do away with the other one out there. They will not want to work with the other one out there because they see that when they're working with the other one, the former president will take the white glory. So this is why they don't want to work with the former president then. That's what happened to Bishop Brother. You want to work on you want to work former president. He's just doing a own thing around to keep the city looking at that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, my brother, I think Teresa go quickly. Hello? All right, I think I'm still on the line. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, my brother, go ahead.
Thanks to people who are discussing what the former brother Ellen Johnson said today. Let me make my input. I heard us say that the renewal of Yaka Walter was saying good people may respect free speech. But wasn't it the same that Ellen Johnson removed Ellen Snow because Snow spoke his mind to Snow?
Edwin Snow will not remove as a lawmaker. So please, we have our children listening.
Yeah, gotta give the information the way it's fine.
Tomorrow misinformation. Edwin Snow was removed by his colleagues. Hello. The same way that Francisco Fatu was also removed by his colleagues. And that was done. Nobody issue, but for someone to be elected by their people, my brother, it's a serious slap. No, but first of all, take it back for now, and let me correct you on that. No, that was not the scenario or the case in the same way. So I want you to I said correcting you. It's not the same thing. All right, so you don't want to correct it. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
Therefore, you see, one of the problems that we face in the country is our leaders, they are not friendly. When they are friendly, you see things smooth because if the former president or former past leader get certain information, they will call that person and say, oh, there's the way forward. But nobody knows what to speak to one another.
I said either Monday or Thursday, what we'll be talking about here. Yes.
Re-elected or neither-elected government work with the agenda of the former government. Everybody can bring our own agenda. Agenda 2024, agenda 2025. Up to now that we're going to check the on.
Thank you, my dear sister. Today's caller. Good evening. Hey man, hello, my young man. Nobody have issue with you. Listen now, hello. No, you know how you can express. Hello, hello. We gotta correct you. You can bring in two different scenarios, or maybe you can bring in two different informations. You can call about what hello, hello. Now listen, so you can learn. Sometimes some of you, yeah. We all here we have to help each other. Yeke Koruba was elected by his people in district number 10. So per the constitution, it is only that same group of people that have the full right until it says here that they get to him finish. That the only people alone will not.
No, neighbor, they may not tolerate. Let's go to another person. You can't waste our time here.
Here to come in, put it on that. Hello, to this. Yeah, my brother. Good evening.
What's up, man?
Mm-hmm.
President, we are the not mimic president or any Jerusalem. The one who's mimicking President any Jerusalem is President Jerusalem Bokai. Now look at few examples why I see that way. President any Jerusalem, Flanagan Hotel, 25 years, that's recent. President Joseph Bokai, LTM, the same. President Ellen Johnson Selish, Carlos, remove as speaker. Small, remove as speaker. President Joseph Boakai, or the former speaker, were removed. Representative is being removed. And when we decide to name A, you will find out that Joseph Boakai is mimicking President Selish in every wrong she did. If you find will see, I will show you more than 10, 15 wrong steps that Manasarito and that this current president is taking. Unless President William, who knew about the idea of getting full back around the globe for recreational purpose? No president. It was all presented in the history of Nigeria.
All right, thank you. And this are kind of maybe new projects that when you talk about, yes, you are quite correct. Hello to this caller, quickly, good evening. My brother, okay, thank God for life. Go ahead.
And I want to say good evening to you. I want to speak specifically to whom. The secretary speaking of everything Cook is doing. I mean, Richard Cook, there's two Cooks.
But without getting you though, because I want you to be very clear with which one the Kun, because all of them they have their supporters so that they will be able to carry the message the right way. Yes, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the secretary speaking of everything Jeremiah Cook and Richard Cook they're doing. You can see what the Cook was saying. I mean, they don't want for no other person to come back to because the way they're doing things, they know that people will just to them.
All right, thank you. Quickly, we already out of time. Let me take out the Samuel 30 seconds. My brother, good evening.
Good evening, neighbor.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me say good evening to all the panelists. Neighbor, the issue you forward is talking about what introduction of our David Samuel, Omega Party, the legacy of former President Weah, and the problem of something like this. Therefore, the issue you forward is to pertaining to Jeremiah. Therefore, we have to be fast-sighted in this group. There are some times of politicians want to put the citizen at the two map. You see, they want to the Nara coming. They also want to create the kind of condition that people will say, oh, the people who are impotent should go for election. But we pray that they come in election, the people are being at defeat. They want to create a kind of strategy between Nigeria and Guinea so that we can say, oh, if Nigeria has won election, so that they can maintain power beyond 2029. For me, that what I'm looking at, so we have to be very careful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. After the Samuel, we got to go. But quickly to our other brother who are having some confrontation. It's very easy. We're not saying that don't have your or maybe disagreement. And there's no fanatic cover. We'll talk about fanatic cover here. All these scenarios or maybe all the examples we talk about, they're all far different. What we are saying is representing the Yeke Koruba was elected, my brother. So should we now go out there and remove President Bwaka just like that? What we saying, what I'm saying, Our democracy is still young, and we can't just put it into some kind of a thing that will take, or maybe take us back to another chaos. No, so we're gonna be careful. What we're talking about? We're talking about elected person. We're not talking about somebody who are maybe quote unquote elected by their colleague for them to be their head for that time. But now, let me take Gabriel join that quickly, then we'll cross over to our team. Hello, Gabriel.
Hey, bro, how you doing, man? How you guys doing back home?
Yeah, my dear brother, we're okay. Thank God for life.
Yeah, to be honest with you, the former president said the truth. Waka would not want to listen to it. A partisan would not want to listen to it. But the country is dead, my brother. We can see it every day. We see the country. They may be more. They came to power with lies. So lies. Came to power. They were President Waka was vice president for 12 years. But he couldn't maintain himself. Those guys came to steal the country money. What do you expect from those guys more allegiance to do to that country? So criminal in power. But they should wait. When the time reaches, we'll drive them out of that country and make sure we put our people back. Why are they going to see? They didn't come to develop the country. All that noise they were making for nothing. No, the country is so dirty. You go to the country that you hold your nose everywhere you pass. I went to the country the future. Everywhere you pass, you have to hold your nose. It's so dangerous. It's so dangerous.
All right. Thank you, my dear brother. We're already out of time. We got to go. Yeah, Mark, Mr. Dishu, brother AB, and other Aliu. I think we can use 1 more minute, please, or maybe at most 1 more minute of our time to go.
Well, in my closing, I just want to make 1 or 2 things clear. Is that what I notice is that we're going down a slippery road in governance. The executive mansion is being controlled by Joe Boca as a head, but he is being undermined from the people around him. Joe Boca not making this around him, that giving him information for him to make decisions. Likewise, the vice president. The vice president have an ambition, so the people around him giving him information that will make him great. So I noticed that we have 2 different kind of people putting mouth and choo into these 2 different people's ears, and we're having conflicting opinion when it comes to how the government should be run, and the information given to the people it being different. So the danger is that the people around the president and the people around the vice president, everybody that trying to make their input to the direct head, causing us some danger. I think they should be able to slow down, or I think the president and the vice president should be able to take the initiative now of trying to weigh out the information that they're getting from the people around them, because it's conflicting. So that particular slippery road, I think, should be corrected before things turn out to be bad. Thank you, and thank you to the Liberian public for listening. Good night.
Brother AB, or maybe Ali, any of you, or Monk, you just want to close spoken.
No, let AB go. What about Snurd there? They owe him and go first.
Yeah, let me say thanks again, Mabel, and thanks to the callers. And when a caller come on the show here and be very agitated, will come with a partisan cap on. Sometimes we don't have to waste time. Mabel, you can't go back and forth with them. And you understand? If they state that point, they can go away. But to hold on to the line and telling, oh, that's the reason wrong with your show. Yeah, you don't tell people how to run their show. Okay? So I just wanted to point that out. And the information he was giving, the scenario are completely different. In 2006, Speaker Snow got removed by his peers. More besides, Speaker Snow was an independent candidate. He did not have a party loyalist to say, he had a particular party that was heavily supporting him in there. It was a conglomeration of political parties that decided to make him speaker. Yes, of course, Ellen was very instrumental in it, like what happened with Kofa case, but he did not get removed as a representative. That's the reason why Snow is still in the legislative branch today. So the information when they come, they don't make those comparisons. Yes, it happened on an early, but they need to stop misleading the people. And you know, maybe again, like I stated, Joseph Boakai, President Boakai, have put his vice president under the bus with a lot of the statements. And the statement from the vice president, I would just kindly admonish his team to help him to prepare this man when he go in the public space to speak on national issues. It becomes policy issues. You can't be saying that people are taking your job away at the same time you're dealing with the very people. You can't come here and tell people that you got a group of people. It sounds like you got mercenaries that can go and invade a country and come back. It's wrong. And then lastly, you can't say that the government had come with a decision to award a particular contract to some independent or whatever contractor or so, only for you to come and your president to turn it over. It weakens you. It makes you that you're a guy that you're incoherent and a guy that does speak to the issues. It makes it to appear that there's some rivalries going on. So that's the only thing I got on it. And again, we got to keep speaking to this thing here, and the callers are engaged. Is a good thing, guys. But thanks for the time, guys. I know we got a lot to talk about tomorrow. And your city, I can tell you, your city is dirty. And not only early, even yesterday when I visited my daughter at the hospital, there's a nurse that I visited Liberia recently. And the guy was telling me that everywhere he passed, it was just a lot of garbage all around the place. Place just dirty smelling and so on and so forth. It's embarrassing. And Ellen stated that you can't bring international people here. You impress them for investment, but then they see everywhere is filtered, and you expect them to take their money and resources and kind of invest it in dirt. Thanks for the guys. For the show, guys.
Well, I don't have that much to say. Tomorrow we'll go over we'll take our day to cover up some excerpt from Madame Salih's interview and that of the political leader of the ANC. And don't forget tomorrow, Melbourne's birthday, so please come with your offering. We'll be carrying our offering basket tomorrow. It's been a while since we collected offering here, so we got to.
Maybe more than the birthday basket. They want to offering.
They want a birthday basket. They want an offering basket for Sktv. All right, guys. Tomorrow, hopefully, God.
All right, maybe take care of me, man. But Steve warn you. I hope you listen to Steve warn you.
Mabel, just how Bro Conner said, nobody should come here and tell what to do. If you want to tell people how to run their show, go and create your own platform. If you come listen to you participate on the show. If somebody wants to come here and be going back to back, cut them off. Okay. If they don't have respect for the money they took to put in their phone to contribute on national issue, but to come here and be so intolerant because you saying the truth about their government, you cut them off. We don't subscribe to foolishness. Okay. I have no interest in the Liberian people because this president, if you really have interest in if you have interest in the Liberian people, you call lawmaker for a special city for 10 days. But look at what is happening to your own people in Lofa County today. They have been displaced, but they keep for 10 days sitting. They couldn't discuss anything about this situation in Lofa, but they use 9 or 8 days on the removal of Yeke Koluba and 1 day on printing of money. This is not good for our country. You see, you call these people for 10 days setting, see what is happening in Lofa. I thought it's supposed to be part of your setting.
Yeah,
but
today,
national security issue. But today, let's see now what they're going to do to the vice president for the statement he made, because it's more dangerous to what Yeke made. And for that concession, let's watch the process and see the way Yeke Koluba can say, if Joseph Boakai, if they do that 360-degree turn on that concession, if they take it for AMR and give it to that company, the vice president talking about, the sanctions are coming for them. They will not believe it. I double dare them to try it. We're looking at them. We know what is going on. Let them try it. And they say they receive sanctions. Let them try that project and take it for AMR and give it to Indian people. Let them wait and see. Indian and Russian people, they will know what happening. They will know. If you want to know the weight of the cat, turn to rat.
I think, but Ali, I think someday you got to produce the show because you are talking. People keep telling me, but how can Ali not becoming like Steve? Well, folks, that's it. I don't know. But you know, like everything just so frustrating.
Tomorrow we hear.
Yeah, my dear brother, yeah, thank you so much. And you know, Ali, like you were saying, my brother, the government come with a high morale. Look, moving forward, a few years or maybe a few months or time from now, we'll be asking them with the morale they come with, how they're going to change things, how they're going to make life better. How come we almost into 3 years and we haven't seen the kind of changes? So maybe this I think we'll be asking our people. But actually, the morale they came with, they were very high, and I think they had to do better. Those of you who are government supporters, you come here, you better be thinking how the people life will change. Don't be thinking about some of the way we talk, how we put things. The reason we sign the way we are signing is because the livelihood of our people is still the same. Nothing changed. Maybe some of you, maybe that you enjoy it. Maybe that's why you are. Maybe that's why you are supporting these, or maybe a corrupt group of people. Well, but I need to admit, things are just so the same. Things are terrible, and our people's lives. I think, yeah, I don't know.
But things are terrible. When we say it, sometimes they feel like we hate. Nobody hate the government. My hate for the government, why we it change? Nothing. But we just say the fight.
That's the point.
That's all. We just have to say the fight. What is happening? We will know that things are terrible in the country because the amount of people that cry on us now for help. Let me say that if he used to receive that amount of call. You see, we know Liberians always come here and other part of the world asking our family for assistance, but it is even more than ever before. So, if our country was going to be rescued, we expecting this kind of call now. You see, you get $1.2 billion budget. Somebody can give you 200,000. You celebrating 200,000. Something that your budget can double, triple. That shows how this. When the people say Liberia is the second lowest IQ country in the world, and the way our people behave, it just shows that yes, indeed, we won that trophy. If you will get $1.2 billion budget, but celebrating 200 million, I don't really know.
What kind of trophy we won?
The lowest IQ country in the world, the second lowest IQ country.
Yeah, that's true though. You see, I'm saying Samuel Holloway, and you're right. You know, don't be a party supporter. If you support your country, my people, those of you who are here, who are alive here, support your country. Forget about the politicians. They will not change.
Neighbor. For me, I'm not even worried about somebody being a party loyalist. Everybody here belongs to some kind of political alignment. That's not even the issue. The issue here is that when you're comparing things falsely and giving false information and become so agitated that you want to impose it on people, they might accept it as if they're living in some on another planet.
Yes,
that's my point. So I don't care about what party you belong to. The idea is you belong to your party, so be it. But the fact when you're giving the information, we come here unscripted, and everything we're talking about the day-to-day activities. We talk about Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, we did not make a story up for her. We talk about the vice president, we are not making up the story. They are making their own stories.
Well,
okay.
Government yesterday, but if they have that, they can invest. Yesterday, you have a government, or maybe the government said yesterday, all yesterday that we're all seeing yesterday, all of you yesterday, you have outside and complaining. How come to them like inside of Madame Koto of government, you won't be angry, you won't see them like in fact that they're not citizens, you're the only maybe citizen. No, that's bad. Why don't we go now, man? We see you tomorrow by the grace of God.
All right, people. Take care, man.
Be safe out there so you can see your birthday tomorrow.
All right.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We searching for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to serve. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving us here the promise of them. The welcome and life we have here.
I lyrical
Master.
Cleverly, so I can't Sktv-Lib. Say my journey, Tina I say my jamo. And you no money, the more I go. And you love me, the more I go.
Sktv the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget now ya to money. That's the baby, and I forget it now. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and out part of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.